Howdy everybody, it is Thursday the 20th of August and I am heading uptown to Idaho Powder Coating to retrieve the park bench, which I just got a call from Heidi who said it was done. So we're gonna go up and get that today, and I've already been at it. It is 9:30 in the morning and I've been at it since about 6, getting some of the weeds mowed down around in the field so we can get that taken care of, and a few other projects. Got a lot of stuff we got to get ready for photo shoot on next Tuesday that's going on here on the farm. And let's see, I'm still getting stuff ready for the Vintage Ag Day, whichever you want to call it, on the 3rd of October. So yeah, a lot of things going on yet down here at the farm. So stay tuned and see you soon. Well, that is what it has turned out looking like. They call it copper vein. I was calling it crackles, something or other, but it is copper vein. And it looks very nice. They did an excellent job up there at Idaho Powder Coating. I was teasing them, though, about putting the thing back together backwards. They ended up taking the reach rod out of the middle here that goes from one side to the other. So they could do it. I was thinking they could just leave it together, but they took it apart, which that's fine. But yeah, on closer inspection, they did put it together backwards. And the reason how I know is because of that little hole right there, or notch, that was on the outside over here on the right hand side. So yeah, not a big deal. Just take a wrench, twist it apart, flip the side one for the other, and we're going to throw the wood back on that today, and you'll see what it looks like done. Alrighty, I got the boards out and I got the bolts and nuts cleaned up for the seat part. The only reason why I knew these were on the wrong side is because I'd been looking at this one here with that hole in it. Part of the casting didn't take or something when they forged these at the foundry. So I knew that was on that side because I'd actually talked to my son Skylar about maybe welding that up. We decided against it. We'd just leave it. So I've got the boards out here for the seat. They have all been coated with linseed oil. Yes, I have swapped the seat frames around, so they are on the correct side now, and it's just a matter of putting these in. And I wasn't kidding when I said these were dark. Now, I will tell you this. Some of our colors may look a little off to you today. The only reason why that is because those crazy Californians have been watering their weed instead of their weeds, so their entire state is up in smoke. Yeah, so pun intended, of course. Anyway, sort of pun intended. Anyway, we'll put this. Big old dadgum magpie did that. So yeah, magpies around here, fair game. So yeah, that's how that will look when I finally get it all finished and put together down there. Let me grab you here so you can see. Yeah, that is really dark, but that copper stuff, that turns out looking real nice. It's got a real nice color to it, so it helps make it look old and antique. So yeah, I'm going to put some screws in it right quick and bolt it all together and do something about that, about cleaning that up. and top off a little linseed oil on that probably, and yeah, we'll go put it down by the creek. There it is, the park bench and the sign. It's more or less where we're going to leave the bench, but I think we need to maybe install a railroad tire or something right along in there, level that out, remove some of the grass underneath it, gravel it, and maybe build a little bit of a rock wall behind the thing, maybe semicircular or something. Just make a dedicated area just for the park bench. But yeah, that way we can sit here and look out and see the view of the farm. From here, read a good book, or just sit here and listen to the waterfalls. Looks like I have picked up all sorts of friends today. Not sure exactly what that is, but there's a bunch of them out there in the field. And they don't seem to bother me much, so I'm just gonna leave him there. Tried to get that sprinkler going out here on that dry grass in the front yard today, but I think a hose has a different idea. Not a ton of pressure coming out of that pump, but yeah, there's enough volume there leaking out that that's not going to work. That hose isn't good enough to warrant being cut and spliced with a repair patch, so I'm going to use what I got left of a roll of electrical tape on it, and we'll just tape it up and see if that'll work just long enough to get that dry spot watered. And this hose is going to go in the junk. Hey, you just never know what you're going to see crawling past the house, literally. That thing's been sitting up about a half mile up the road now for several months. I was wondering when he was going to get around to driving it back down to the yard. Watch this. He's just going to go right up across the road here. Yeah, you better not go there, buddy. You have a guy wire you got to deal with. He's buried. Take out the power pole. I wandered over to the edge of the street and hollered at him, and he'd seen it and stopped. He had to actually pull up to that and put the boom between the power pole and the guy wire so he could turn and miss a riser for a hand line for irrigation. So yeah, he got around it, and for whatever reason I didn't get it filmed. But yeah, anyway, that's our little bit of excitement for the day. Good Saturday morning. It is the 22nd of August, and in case you're wondering why everybody's driving by slowly this morning, the highway department was kind enough to put down rock chip on the highway yesterday, or the road behind me here. So people are going a little slower on 3500 today. Anyway, yeah, this is a continuation from where I left off Thursday. My son ended up taking me to breakfast yesterday, and I had to go to work thereafter, so that kind of put a kibosh on my getting anything done yesterday. So we're going to finish up several little projects today because I have to go back to work in town again today. All right, there is the rubber hose installed in that hole. Yeah, I cut it a little bit short. That isn't going to matter because gravity and hoses getting pulled one way or the other will keep that pipe on the downhill side of that hole. So anyway, that's what that's there for, is to keep that from vibrating and rubbing through the pipe, because if the pipe gets to wiggling around or whatever, that sharp metal will cut through that plastic over time. So yeah, that rubber hose probably need to be replaced once or twice in its lifetime, but yeah, that's just a gasket to help insulate everything. I'll throw a little Teflon tape on that end, screw it all back together, and we're good to go today. That's the hose hooked back up, and the pipe's in there, and it doesn't wiggle around too terrible much. And the rubber gasket made out of a piece of 5/16 rubber fuel line hose. Why the rubber fuel line hose and not an actual grommet or rubber bushing that would go in there? use what you got on hand when you're living on a farm. Something has happened to the water flow coming down into the creek and the pond. The pond has dropped down, oh, every bit of 2 feet or better. So I guess I'm gonna have to run up the road and see what's going on. But first, we're gonna glue on the PIP pipe to gated pipe fitting on the pipe that runs underneath the driveway. We're gonna get that done before we run upstream to see what's going on with the water flow coming down this way. Yeah. Well, we're going to get this little project wrapped up today too. I got the last PIP to gated pipe adapter this last week from Pipeco, and actually I probably had it for more, well no, I've had it for a week now, just a little over. I just haven't had a chance to get it put on yet. Anyway, let's see, I don't want that primer in there on the gasket. In case you can hear it in the background, the traffic going by today is running a little slower than normal, which is probably a good thing, because the county highway department has come by, put down some hot tarry oil, and done their seal coating with rock chip. So yeah, they did that yesterday, and on my way into Twin Falls, they managed to couple of vehicles, including one semi-truck that was coming out to haul hay, managed to ding my already broken windshield from that stuff. I got that crack in the windshield. You've probably noticed it in some of the videos. I got that about 2 years ago, running my mother to a doctor's appointment out on the interstate on I-84. I was real impressed with that then. Anyway, I have not changed the windshield because I knew this rock chip thing was coming up. And sure enough, if I look at my windshield this morning, I bet there's another big old ding in it from that rock that found me yesterday. Okay, these are primered and glued together. A slight twist. That's done. Now I can install gated pipe on both ends of this thing. Even though I have that temporary pipe and wheel thing around here blocking people from hitting the pipe where it pops back up, that's just temporary, I think, for now. We'll have to come up with something else for that. In the meantime, I may end up painting those pipe fittings a bright color, like a bright yellow or something, just so they stand out and people will see and know that those are there. It's kind of a puny little flow of water, and I can see why. The actual flow has been cut way down. Coming down for some reason, I don't know why. I've opened up my gate here a little bit more, and got a little bit more flow coming, and I cleaned out that screen. I haven't cleaned that screen out now for, probably 2 weeks. 3 maybe at most, and yeah, it's been a real pleasure this year not to have that constantly plugging up that gate. So I've had real good water flow all year. So we'll have to go upstream even more and find out why this isn't working so well today and why we don't have that much water. With the water being blocked up upstream, it has really reduced the water flow here at the creek. So I think today I can get out here with a weed whacker, rake, and shovel and kind of clean this out a little bit. And yeah, you can't even hardly see the entrance to the culvert right there that goes under the driveway there. So yeah, a little bit of cleaning and prep work to do today while the water levels are down. Well, I won't bother you with the details of mowing the lawns and doing the weed trimming. I'm sure you got enough of that on your own place. But what I will leave you with tonight, or today, is more smoke's rolling in, and it's getting harder to breathe. Hopefully by the 3rd of October, all of this will be gone. We'll have cleaner air and whatnot. Hope to see y'all here for that. Stay tuned on the Nelson Creek Farm Facebook group for more updates on that. We'll have a time schedule and that sort of thing. So anyway, stay tuned for more updates on what we got going on and coming up, and we will see you around the corner. So in the meantime, you have a wonderful day, and take care. I'm Farmer Dave.